we get into the video, I just want to say thank you so much, BetterHelp, for this paid partnership. I'm extremely grateful, and especially because this topic has been so real for me recently. Honestly, I've been in a season where everything feels so full. Motherhood, marriage, building a business, staying close to God, and even though it's so incredibly beautiful, sometimes it can feel a bit overwhelming. There were moments I thought I should have had everything completely figured out by right now, by my schedule, but life changes, and that's really okay. For a long time, I held off on therapy because I felt like I could do it all on my own. And even though prayer is super powerful, sometimes having that human connection with somebody else who's a trained specialist is really, really helpful. With my therapist on BetterHelp, I'm really happy because she's given me space to heal, to reflect, and to grow whilst being in alignment with God. And that's why I really love what BetterHelp are doing. Really easy, you just fill out a simple questionnaire, then you get matched with a licensed therapist for you. But the good thing is, if you don't vibe, if you don't feel good with a certain therapist, you can just change again at any given point in time. And you can message them anytime. You can also switch for completely free. And it's all private and easy to access. And with over 7,000 reviews and a 4.3 rating on Trustpilot, it's really a platform that you can trust. Just click the link in my description, and then you can also get 10% off your first month. Just remember that you don't have to do this all alone. Hi, my beautiful soul family. So I have a word here today, and it's a very timely message. So we are in July right now. I think it's the 18th of July, and I felt really inspired today to talk about July and what's going to be coming when we move into August. So when I was spending some time with God and meditating on this word, it said, I heard, if it's crumbling in July, then it was never meant to last into August. So what I do want to say is, if there's been something in your life that has been breaking down or crumbling, or you've been seeing that things are kind of, crumbling and breaking in July, I want you to take this very, very seriously, because certain things are not meant to come with you into August. So when I was sitting on this, I was like, really, I felt an overwhelming thing in my spirit that August is going to be filled with a completely different energy than it's been in July. For me, July was a lot of crumbling of old paradigms, of old structures, a kind of death to the self, a death to the ego. And I saw a quote yesterday, and this is holy space completely. Like, when we're at the stage in the journey where we are not relying on our own human power or strength, we are relying on God. We actually crumble at one point to the old versions of us. We kind of have an ego death to the self, and realizing that we are nothing without God and we are everything with God. So this is just a different message in itself, but for me, certain things have been being brought to my attention in July, that things are out of alignment, that things are not aligned with God's plan. So you'll be able to understand if this thing is meant to be in your life or if it's not meant to be in your life, depending on the energy behind it, the fruits of it. So if it brings you pain, if it brings you fear, if it brings you control, like if it controls you, if you suffer from it, if it just depletes you from energy, if it just holds you back from, one, being connected with God, but two, being like having any self-worth about yourself, then you need to understand that this thing needs to be released, it needs to be purged, it needs to be let go of in order for you to step into this new thing, because this is hard. In some way it's difficult. What I'm feeling, what I'm going through in myself, I'm understanding that this is not an easy process. Like, it's easy for me to come on here and say you've got to let things go in order for you to move into something new, but when you're in the situation, don't worry, because I understand how hard it is to really fully let go of things that you've been in so long. You're comfortable in it, you've had this so long, and it scares you to even think about letting it go, because then you are kind of in the unknown, you're in free fall. But what God wants to put in your heart today, in your mind, in your spirit, is that He'll always be there to catch us, no matter how scary things are in our minds, no matter how many times we feel like we are alone and that we cannot see a future. When we let this specific thing go, God is saying, I'm going to catch you no matter what. I'm there for you, no matter what. So what is that thing that has been crumbling in your life in July? If it's that career, if it's a relationship, if it's just an old way of living, if it feels like it's been breaking down, just know that there's no coincidence behind that. That is a divinely orchestrated kind of readjustment that God has been doing. He's been breaking it down in the spirit. So that's why you can kind of sense it, that it's not working anymore. There's something not quite right with it. It's not in balance. It's out of alignment with God and God's plan for your life. And that's why you feel it spiritually. And maybe you've seen like little cracks in the physical world, like, some certain things has not been working out, it's been breaking down, and like it's been brought to your attention that, okay, this is crumbling from my life. You've got to let it. Don't cling on to it. Don't cling on to it, because God has so much more in store for you than you are currently experiencing. And I even feel like emotional releasing this word, because this is a personal revelation for me too. If it's not been bringing you peace, if it's not been bringing you happiness, if it's not been bringing you safety, if it's not been bringing you security and love, then it's not for you. If it's been bringing you fear, if it's been bringing you just, it depletes your energy, it holds you back, then it's not meant to be for you. It's not meant for you. And there's something way more better in store for you than what has been. So where I've been in my life, I don't know if this is like a collective shift that's happening in consciousness, because for me, what I've been dealing with, and let me know if you've felt the same, is I've been understanding that life is just layers, and there's no singular truth. There's no definite truth. There's so many different truths. There's, trillions, billions of different truths, because everyone has a different truth. And then there's one foundational truth, but there's so many different layers and aspects and duality that we are living by. And what I'm understanding right now in this journey, especially as a Christian, is that there is no way that we can be perfect. We are going to make mistakes in life. Things are not going to go right all the time. We just have to be able to be open and trust God, and then we can navigate any situation that we are in. So what I do want to say is, if you've been beating yourself up and trying to force something because you're afraid of being a failure, or afraid of not being perfect or not having it all together, you need to deconstruct that in your mind. That is a limiting belief. There's no such thing as perfection. That's all like an underlying root of perfectionism, which I have too. I have that too, by the way, so you're not alone in this if you feel it. But what I do need to relay to you is there's no such thing as perfect. It just is, right? It just is. We put labels on things to, name it good and bad. But I believe that this is it all just is, right? And of course, when it's love, it's like from God. But when it's like evil, it's not from God. It's the absence of God. It's the darkness. But this human experience is filled with all of it. And we will be able to navigate all of it when we have God within us and God by our side. And just know that God is within you. You will not fail. With whatever you go through in life, whatever you do, you will not fail, because God is within you. And the kingdom of heaven is within you as well. And when I've gone deeper on this verse, you need to understand the meaning of that is the mind, like what is going on internally in your mind, how your mindset is, how your emotions are, regardless of the storm around you. If you can maintain emotional balance, then you're okay. But also that mindset that God is always going to be making a way for you, no matter how hard it is for you, no matter how scary it is for you to navigate in, the crazy terrain or the dangerous, terrain that is unknown to you, that you're not familiar with. When you have that mindset that God is always with you, He's guiding you, He's protecting you, He's leading the way for you, you will get through anything that comes your way. So don't be afraid to let things go in July. If they're not meant to, if they're depleting you, if it's literally pulling you back and hindering you from reaching your full potential with God, then you have to let it go, because the new chapter that is on the horizon in August, it will be absolutely incredible. But you've just got to make those adjustments first, to make room, to make space for the new capacity, the new potential that is waiting to come into your life. So I'm going to end this video there. I love you guys so much. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and also check the description box where you'll find everything from me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.